Hey guys, today we're going to be using proportions to make inferences. Let's read the word problem below and then we're going to infer a couple of different things about the information that they give us. A shipment to a warehouse consists of 4,500 cell phones. The manager chooses a random sample of 75 cell phones and finds that 3 of the 75 are defective or don't work. First of all, we want to know how many cell phones in the shipment are likely to be defective. And then we want to know how many cell phones in the shipment will not be likely to be defective. Alright, so let's look at the first question. How many cell phones in the shipment are likely to be defective? And the title of our lesson is Using Proportions to Make Inferences. So we're going to set up a proportion. And in our proportion, we're going to use the sample 75 as the total, and that 3 of those 75 were defective. And if you notice, I'm labeling over to the side D for defective, T for total. We know that the warehouse consists of 4,500 total cell phones. And so now we're going to use our proportion to solve how many of these should be defective if they took a random sample of 75 and found that 3 were defective. So to solve this proportion, we're going to cross multiply. So let's take 4,500 and multiply that by 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13. And now we're going to take that answer and divide it by 75. I know that 75 goes into 135 one time, so we're going to subtract 75 here. 5 minus 5 is 0, and then 13 minus 7 is 6. Bring down this 0. 75 goes into 600, I think 8 times, so let's try 75 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 7 is 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So it goes in 8 times exactly. There is an extra 0 here, so let's bring this 0 up to our answer. So using their random sample, we could expect that 180 in that warehouse are going to be defective. Now the next question is basically asking how many would we expect would not be defective. Well, we know that we could expect 180 to be defective out of 4,500. So to figure out how many would not be defective or how many would actually be working, we could take these two numbers and subtract to figure out the number of cell phones that would still be good. So let's take 4,500 and subtract 180. Borrow from the 5 because we can't do 0 minus 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3, and then bring down the 4. So this is the number of cell phones that we would expect to be working still. So 180 are the defective phones. 4,320 are the ones that are still working. Okay guys, we took a sample. We used what the random sample's outcome was, 75 cell phones, 3 are defective, to predict, to figure out how many cell phones would be defective out of the whole entire warehouse, 4,500. These numbers might not be exact, so if they were to check every single cell phone, they might find out that maybe more than 180 or less than 180 are defective. But as long as it's close, that means that we took a good random sample and predicted correctly. Thank you guys for watching.